Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
It's always nice when it's Thursday night and you're heading into the start of your Friday, the start of the end of the week. Yes, welcome into Mississippi Live Weather at 10. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynor. What exactly are we tracking for the end of the week? Well, honestly, it's the last bit of calm before the literal storm. So enjoy your Friday because things do change in that extended forecast. Our headlines tonight are going to be Friday staying dry. Very simple, plain, but it gets the message across because the action really kicks in by the weekend. The soggy weekend forecast. More soggy one day rather than the other. And we'll break that down in just a moment here at the Room to Room Weather Center. But yeah, just going to be experiencing rain chances and quite a bit of them as we enter towards our weekend. Also, high school college football forecast going to be a great forecast for high school and for most college games. Who am I talking about? We'll find out here on Mississippi Live Weather at 10. Let's bring it back to the here and now because I want to enjoy those last moments of dry weather. The first 12 has 54 degrees by 11, 48 there by 5 a.m. And that's where we'll sit as we start our Friday. So temperature's not as bad, actually a little bit warmer from where we were sitting earlier today. So hey, adding another positive to what is already a pretty good Friday. But going ahead and getting some views outside. Beautiful night there in Greenwood. I think our reporting station is down right now. Maybe catching a meteor tonight. We're out of that peak time frame, but still the potential to see a couple. Definitely possible if you want to get out there and enjoy it. Just make sure your eyes adjust. That's been my issue the past few nights. I'm not exactly getting my night vision is what we'll call it. So I'm not able to see the meteors up there in the sky, but they are happening and hopefully getting a little bit of a visual again tonight. 56 degrees in Smithville, dew point currently at 49. That is climbing. Earlier today, that was in the 30s. So things are changing as we get into our Friday forecast. Moisture being added to the atmosphere and not just there in Monroe County, also in Panola County, Batesville showcasing 52 degrees, dew point in the 50s. So things are changing here in North Mississippi. And you're already getting a little bit of that cloud cover there in the distance, giving you a hint at that partly cloudy sky we're going to be waking up to on our Friday morning. Temperature-wise across the region, only in the mid-50s for the most part. Houston 56, Red Bay 57, Water Valley 54. Out west, we're still seeing 61 in Clarksdale. So a warmer night than what it has been. I'll call it a mild night heading into that extended forecast. And we can really see that temperature change with 6 to 7 degree difference. I know. What is it, the meme? I'll do it for all my friends out there who knows what that means. 6 to 7 degree temperature change. And that is in the warmer side of things. So it is going to be, that just cracks me up. It's going to be slightly warmer even towards our forecast tomorrow morning. Mississippi Live Weather Radar, as you can see, dry as can be once again, but we are tracking a little bit of cloud cover pushing out there towards the west and rainfall. Looking at some of those rainfall totals that, yes, we will be getting here in North Mississippi. Wichita Falls, 1.5 inches just north of Oklahoma City, 2.2 inches. Shout out to my Thunder. Secured the dub against the Pacers today, 2-0 to start the season. Great sign of things to come. But yeah, so that's what we're going to be getting in that extended forecast. 2 inches. Definitely not out of the realm of possibilities. We could even see higher amounts depending on how that frontal situation develops over the next few days. So we haven't really talked about this too much because I'm not overly concerned about North Mississippi's severe weather threat. But over there in Oklahoma and Texas, we had a few severe thunderstorm warnings be issued. That level 2 threat with Wichita Falls right in the heart of that threat. But let's go ahead and bring it back to our Saturday because that's when our main event happens, is Saturday and Sunday. And you do see that level 2 threat primarily towards Houston, Bryan in Texas, and southern portions of Louisiana. Now, reason why this is happening, you basically have, we're going to test the artistic ability, and you'll get a better visual on this. That's not my artistic ability here in just a second. But you get this warm front that forms right here, and that's basically going to be that warmer air back behind that allows for some isolated, stronger storms to form. And so you can get some of those that develop in that warm sector is what we call it, and that's going to be right there in southern Louisiana and eastern Texas. So that's why that severe weather threat is in place. And you do see for a few of us down there in southwest Mississippi, in that level 1 threat. So if you are traveling down to Jackson, you are going to be getting some of those thunderstorms, maybe a few stronger, but that severe weather threat primarily south and west for folks down in Jackson, Hattiesburg, and the Meridian area. So not expecting it fully in that area just yet, but we are watching the potential for Sunday, maybe getting a few strong storms with that main system. But as of right now, no threat is in place for us. And that is a fortunate thing. So Mississippi Live Weather Radar, I drew that warm front and I could have just advanced one slide and given you a better visual. There it currently sits, that low in the heart of Colorado, or should I say southeast Colorado, and that warm front extending off of it through Oklahoma and Dallas, producing a a few severe thunderstorm warnings already, but that threat continues to inch eastward as we head into the next couple of days. So let's go ahead and take that out. Futurecast taking that whole frontal system all the way across the mid-south and then into the southeast. This is a look at your Friday morning, and yes, you do see that cloud cover building. That's some moisture already returning to the forecast, and no rainfall expected, but the moisture in the form of cloud cover, because clouds are just, rain droplets. So there you go. There's your lesson for the day. So Friday morning, still calm, still dry, but partly cloudy, and that's going to be a noticeable difference. 9 a.m. still sticking with those same conditions, but as high pressure continues to be driven out into the Atlantic and this frontal system continues to build closer, that is going to pivot our forecast to more of a soggy forecast by the weekend. Most intense rainfall currently going to be southern Missouri and western Arkansas, but that's getting ever so closer to North Mississippi by our late Friday evening, really pushing into our Saturday. So the next 24, 47 degrees, 6 a.m., still a cool enough start to have the long sleeves on standby, but by the afternoon, take it from me, because I didn't listen to the meteorologist, it was a warm one this afternoon. Same thing for tomorrow. So we'll not need the long sleeves by 3 p.m., but partly cloudy conditions lingering all day long. It's going to basically give you some shade from that sunshine, but honestly, we're at the temperatures where it doesn't even matter. So whatever, partly cloudy, mostly sunny. It really doesn't make a difference at the end of the day. It's just what's in the sky. So honestly, partly cloudy gives you something to look at. There you go. There's a positive with it. But coming up in the next 60, we're going to be walking through a busy weekend, all things considered in the weather world, but also here in North Mississippi. Guys, it's the last weekend before Halloween. If you needed a reminder, there you go. So if you need to get anything done, trunk or treats, if you are going to the state band championship down in Brandon, well, there's a lot going on. We're tracking each of those forecasts coming up on Mississippi Live Weather at 10 in the next 60.
The holidays are coming, and so are your relatives. Room to Room is here to help you get ready for company. Enjoy 50% off on the furniture you need, dining, sleepers, mattresses, and more. Plus 24-month special financing. Company's coming. Get ready at Room to Room Tupelo.
Hey, you there! Ever try to do something in under 6 minutes? Anything, like say, grow a beard. I bet you can. At Sweet Pepper's Deli, you get quality food in under 6 minutes. Now how about that? Sweet Pepper's Deli, life is sweet.
Growing up, Gabe was naturally curious. When he began to discover weather, Gabe just didn't want to know what was happening, but he wanted to know why it was happening. Gabe became fascinated with tornadoes, and it impacted his life. He wanted to pursue a career in meteorology. Even though Gabe grew up in Alabama, Mississippi has now become his home and his family. And one thing about Gabe is he keeps his family safe.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynor.
Beautiful night here in the Magnolia State, 54 degrees in Caledonia with dew points currently around 50 degrees. So shows that moisture re-entering the forecast and priming the environment heading into our weekend. Yes, very dry right now, but that does transition, so enjoy it while it's here. Macon, 54 degrees as well, 49-degree dew point, so a slightly drier forecast, but drivers out there on the roadways enjoying the last bit of those dry conditions before that weekend does kick in. And not just in Noxubee County, we jump out there towards Montgomery County. Unfortunately, the reporting station seems to be down, but we're getting a great shot there on the horizon. I thought that spotlight was a meteor for a second, got very excited internally. Unfortunately, it's not, so now I'm very disappointed. So maybe we'll see a meteor tonight. Maybe we'll get lucky with the Orion and meteor shower. It's still going on, but not at that peak coverage that we've been enjoying the past couple of days. So Mississippi Live Weather Radar, what are we dealing with right now? Well, a whole bunch of nothing yet again. And that's a great thing for our forecast because it means drier conditions will be in place for our Friday morning, even into our Friday afternoon, which means Friday football looking good. But then we jump out towards the west and we are getting those storms starting to develop over Wichita Falls, Abilene, and San Angelo, Texas. That's that frontal system that's really kicking up some moisture and some storms over there for Texas. That is going to be in Mississippi here in just a couple of days. So wave to it, say hello, say welcome as we get into our Saturday, but not here just yet, so enjoy it. Like I said, don't overlook Friday because we're not fully in that soggy forecast just yet. We also have that potential for severe weather. That is going to be for southwest Mississippi. As southwest of a corner as you can get. That's what's in that severe weather risk. But the heart of that risk area is going to be down there towards Houston and Galveston and Austin, Texas. So honestly, Texas, it's a good thing you're coming to Mississippi State to play because that means it's going to be a drier forecast, at least we hope. But looking at that severe weather risk, main threat is going to be some strong wind gusts and large hail. But this is that warm sector that's back behind the warm front. So these are going to be very isolated strong storms that do develop, not exactly going to be a very linear pattern as that goes over the top of southeast Texas. So day planner this evening, calm, like I said, but partly cloudy, 53 degrees by midnight, 47 for our 6 a.m. forecast, or by the time we're waking up and heading out the door. But again, dry as can be, which is perfect for the end of our week. I'm so glad we're ending on a high note because that's exactly how this week has been. It's been a good forecast all week long. So we do have the latest model runs coming out, and this is a big deal for us because it's tracking what's going into our Friday and Saturday forecast. So let's expand things out because, again, we tracked it. Not really anything is happening in North Mississippi over the next 24 hours, so we need to see what's moving in. And that's going to be this warm front moving in those showers and storms there towards Fort Smith and Fayetteville. So University of Arkansas, going to see a soggy forecast as well. I don't really know who they're playing this week, but that is going to continue by 6 a.m. So students waking up in Northwest Arkansas dealing with some soggy forecasts. But overall, going to be a calm forecast here, partly cloudy conditions, and temperatures cooling or warming up just a bit from where we were at currently this morning. So 45 degrees Red Bay, 47 Water Valley, 51 South Haven. We jumped down south and west, 53 around Greenville. So that moisture returning, hey, that's making all the difference and keeping our temperatures just that much warmer for our morning commute. 47 around drop-off, and we're seeing 66 by lunch, 74 by that final bell, going to be a warm one by the afternoon. So tail of two forecast, dress in long sleeves for the start, but definitely have a short sleeve t-shirt underneath it because you will regret wearing long sleeves in 74 degrees. Catches you by surprise. Let's go ahead and keep our futurecast going for our Friday morning. And again, dry conditions, but I want to keep it local here for just a minute because you see these greens popping up and you might be misled and thinking, Gabe, that's rainfall. Yes and no. With how dry the pattern has been, and we saw this last Friday, a lot of this is elevated, meaning a term we call virga, not exactly reaching the surface because of how dry our atmosphere is. A lot of it just evaporates away before it ever reaches us here on the ground. So yes, it's showing up as green, but a lot of that going to stay way high up in the sky without ever touching us here on the ground. Unfortunately, but also fortunately, because I want our Friday to stay dry. So you're going to see greens pop up, but don't be alarmed by that. I have a lot of this staying elevated, maybe a sprinkle or two as the day goes on, but I'm not overly sold on those rain chances, especially when you compare that to how folks are looking out there towards the west. So let's keep that futurecast going and show that the whole frontal system inching closer and closer throughout our Friday. Noontime already into portions of Little Rock and Searcy. It's not far away from us. We're only talking about 100 miles or so, and then we're really getting into into the preview to the main event. So there we get into the 3 p.m. Jonesboro getting a few of those showers. This is that main batch that we are watching, but that warm front needs to inch just a little bit closer for those showers to start to form overhead of us here in North Mississippi. But that entire system, a very mature system, might I add, that's developing over the top of Texas. You can kind of see this right here. We get a very defined warm front and a cold front. That shows you that this is starting to become a little bit more of a mature system and that wraparound moisture as well. Just zooming in right here, I know it's not our area, but it kind of gives you a perspective of that movement on the storm, and that is going to really inch closer. And if this heart of the low moves over North Mississippi, you're looking at even soggier of a forecast by our Sunday. So paying attention to the warm front at first, and then getting into the main event back behind it with the cold front in the center of that system. So let's go ahead, get into those warm temperatures, and of course it is going to be above average like it has been. 75 Tupelo, 77 Houston, Bruce, Water Valley, 81 Greenwood, and 81 around Belzona. So yeah, short sleeves going to be essential yet again. But our high school game of the week forecast remains on the drier side, and that's where I'm very grateful that we get to enjoy those Friday night lights and not have to deal with umbrellas or rain jackets or anything of that matter. So 70 pregame, 61 halftime, and 56 by that final snap. Partly cloudy conditions all day long, but no chance of rain. And that's what matters at the end of the day. A big thank you to Casey Lott for presenting this to us and giving us the great news for our Friday night forecast. Now let's go ahead and get into our Saturday, or should I say Friday night into Saturday, because this is where things start to get a little bit different, and not in a good way. So let's go ahead and walk through it. This is 9 p.m. on your Friday, and we're getting into those overnight hours, midnight, still dry across the region. So if those games go late, no need to worry. But then we get into our Saturday morning, and you start to see some of this isolated development already moving into parts of eastern Arkansas and possibly even western Mississippi, depending on how those models trend over the next couple of days. So 9 a.m., you're really getting that warm front inching closer and closer. And once this warm front fully clears the area, I mean, we're talking about showers developing back behind it in that warm sector because you do have enough moisture at this point and you do have enough heating with it being noon. So no surprise to get a little bit of this isolated development down there towards New Orleans, but then this main defined line along that warm front getting towards Monroe and Alexandria, Louisiana. So Folks, heading down to Brandon this weekend. I know the state band championships are Saturday, and I told you guys that it might have been later in the day yesterday. Well, models have sped up. And that is not the best outlook for you guys down there, because you see by 3 p.m. Jackson is covered with showers and storms. So for all my band folks out there, we'll go over the forecast here in just a minute. But yeah, bring the umbrellas, bring the rain jackets, and hopefully, I know brass instruments we always would put inside because it would attract lightning, and it would also, I think, rust in some of the rainfall. So brass instruments, watch out with this forecast. That's 3 p.m. And there you get all those showers and storms starting to inch closer into North Mississippi by the time we get into that 6 o'clock hour. And this is a different model. This is not our most aggressive model, the HRRR. And I would almost up those rain chances from 30% to probably 40% as we get into our Saturday evening, showing that confidence is increasing on the amount of rainfall we're going to see. And any of those Saturday evening plans need to be moved indoors at this point, because we're looking at a pretty good chance at a washout for those, let's see, let me actually go back on this real quick to get the exact time frame on this. So we're going to have to, actually I can just drag it out. Bear with me one moment as I try and navigate technology at 10:18 at night. It doesn't exactly want to follow. So yeah, we're looking at that forecast probably around 3 p.m. where it reaches portions west Mississippi, west of I-55, and then it really pushes more into the area by 5 and 6 o'clock to wrap up your Saturday. So let's go ahead and get into those high temperatures. Let's go ahead and keep this forecast moving. But yeah, that's really what to expect. And that's the unfortunate part about it. I was hoping there was a little window of opportunity, but it seems like that window has closed shut. High temperatures as you look outside right now, or for Saturday, should I say, 76 in Houston, 75 New Albany, 74 Corinth, and 79 around Macon. So still above average despite that rainfall in the forecast. But yeah, definitely, I would say there is still a window of opportunity. Don't let me overlook that. We have that window of opportunity during those early morning hours and early afternoon before that threat really pushes in by late afternoon and early evening. Now, if you're heading to the Ole Miss game, don't really have a window of opportunity. You're going to be greeted with rainfall over there in Norman. You see 80% around kickoff. That might be a little bit high, but even then, 60, 70% enough. And that 60% lingers through the rest of the game, 63 by halftime and 65 by that final snap. Not too bad temperature-wise for an 11 a.m. kickoff, but it's all due to those showers, keeping those temperatures at bay. Our Carl Hogan Toyota SEC football forecast for Mississippi State. Like I said, Texas, traveling from Austin all the way here to Starkville and enjoying some drier conditions, and already seeing this trend a little bit different by that final snap. We're up to 20% now. I still think that might be underdoing it by that final snap, but it is showing that my thoughts on this, as well as the model's thoughts on this, are kind of aligning in the fact that we're going to be getting heightened chances of rainfall by that final snap. So hopefully the Bulldogs can just win this game very quickly and send the Longhorns back home so they can travel in the rain and we can keep it dry for the entire forecast for Mississippi State. But we got to take care of some business for sure. Now let's go ahead and jump to the dry game of our forecast, our Alabama game taking on South Carolina in Columbia. 68 degrees first place, 62 by that final snap. Mostly clear skies all game long. Honestly, guys, let's all just go to the Alabama game this weekend. Then we'll stay dry and stay clear of the rain. But I do know Sunday, we're not completely out of the woods just yet. We do have trunk or treat. I know my church has a trunk or treat going on, as well as several churches, being that it is the last weekend before Halloween. So if you're looking to plan those trunk or treats, can we have a trunk or treat in November? That's really the question, because we are going to be dealing with those showers, and more than likely it's just not going to be the best situation for trunk or treat. You might have a corridor where it might be some drier conditions, but you're more than likely going to be dealing with showers rather than not when it comes to our Sunday afternoon forecast. We'll get a better idea on this as we head into our forecast tomorrow, so don't completely change plans just yet. Wait till that Friday forecast comes along and then make the decision then, I would say. And that'll be our best outlook. Fingers crossed that it gets better, but not hopeful. I'm hopeful, but not exactly optimistic whenever I've looked at model runs all week long and it's all hinted at Sunday being the day when it comes to rainfall. So Saturday and Sunday, really the whole system working its way through both days, but the big event going to be on Sunday. As of right now, no severe weather expected, and that's a good thing with this forecast. So all we need to worry about is those showers, not sliding on the roads, and of course staying safe and enjoying a good Sunday nap. But beyond that, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, even into Thursday, isolated showers do stick around, even a few rumbles of thunder with a few of those. But I would say that we are not expecting severe weather. If anything, this is just giving us some dents in the drought monitor, really putting up a battle with that drought monitor and hopefully making it better in the long run. Next week, I expect it to be way, way better. Excited about that. So at least there's a positive side to things. Looking in chat, Yeah, of course. Hey, I was a band nerd back in the day. I played saxophone, and I always look out for my fellow band people. So down in Brandon, going to be a good one. I know on the field, but we just got to deal with those showers in the process. I don't know what exactly the plan is with that. If it were to deal with some showers, if we move everything up, or if we have to reschedule. I hope it's not rescheduled, because I know Boonville's going to Brandon, and that is a haul. And I know they don't want to make that trip twice. So yeah. I'm trying to look in the chat. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, speaking of band, I did make a graphic for you guys for that Brandon forecast. This is for down in Brandon and down in the Jackson area. You can see rain chances just go even higher on our Saturday as that warm front inches closer. I think 60% is a bit high for our 7 a.m. forecast, but as we move towards that noontime hour, I would say that's really when showers start moving into the region, and they linger all day long. Have fun down there. Grady, I know you promised me a picture, so I want to see that still. And with the ponchos on, or with whatever you guys have on, I want to see that. How you guys are staying safe in the rain. Okay, enough talking for me. We walked through every forecast possible this weekend. Like I said, it's a busy one, but I know folks need to know how to plan this weekend. It's going to be a tough one. Even getting to the pumpkin patch Saturday morning, that'd probably be the optimal time. So get out there, get those pumpkins, and you'll be good to go. Because beyond that, not really going to be lucky. Okay, where it's dry is not here in North Mississippi this weekend. It's actually going to be over in Australia, and that's where our Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon shows us his latest update from the wonders of Australia. Matt, take it.
Hello, Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon here from the Majestic Theatre in Pomona, Australia. What you see behind me here is the oldest continuously used silent movie theater in, I believe, the world. It is, we actually just got done watching a silent movie at this location, which is something obviously most of us have probably never experienced in our life, as we had an organ player who played on the organ the entire time to basically just accompany the music. No official score put together with that. They just, essentially played it impromptu the entire time, which was just a fantastic experience, and certainly one I'll remember for a long, long time. Something I guess I didn't even realize was so cool. This theater originated back more than 100 years ago in 1921. Again, was a hall for all sorts of different things in this community, and has been kept up all these years. So anyway, very cool experience here. But again, I want to thank the good folks at MLM for sponsoring our Wonders of Australia tour from the Majestic Theatre here in Queensland, in Pomona, Australia. I'm Chief Meteorologist Matt Lawpon from Mississippi Live Weather.
So a big thank you to Matt, and I believe the journey is ending very soon, so I hope you guys have enjoyed the wonders of Australia. If you do want to watch any of those recordings, well, they are on our YouTube at Mississippi Live Weather. Go tune in and enjoy that. But yeah, until then, Matt's coming back to a soggy forecast. So what can I say? The rain follows the meteorologist. I blame Matt. I'm just kidding. Just like giving him a hard time. So we will be live at our Game of the Week forecast coming up in Vardaman tomorrow evening, but we do have our morning forecast happening Audio's not going to catch me today. Got it. Okay, sweet. So if you want to watch the show during our morning commute, or don't watch during your morning commute, before you leave for your morning commute, or for our live shows tomorrow evening, live from our Game of the Week, go ahead and download that Mississippi Live Weather app, free and available on both app stores, iOS and Android. And there's our schedule, 5, 6, and 10 on your evening, live from your Game of the Week tomorrow night in Vardaman as Calhoun City comes to town to take on the Rams. 6:37 and 7:30 though, letting you know the latest on those rain chances, and of course what should be happening on Saturday and Sunday. Going to be a tough forecast to wrap our brain around, but at least we're getting rainfall. Think optimistically about it. You guys have a fantastic night, and we will see you back here bright and early as we wrap up the work week and have a great weekend ahead. We'll see you back very shortly, bright and early.
If you love them enough to drive an hour to cheer them on as they get beat 11-0 in the rain, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
You wonder how they're going to experience the real world in real safety, where all kids are welcome and everyone has a path forward to new skills, advancement, leadership, something they will carry with them the rest of their lives.